He's still salty they didn't win the championship.
Yeah.
I'll cut all those chins off. Don't think I won't.
You know, he's not salty he didn't win. He's salty that he's going to forever have the shortest title reign. Because technically, my title reign is now longer than yours, Beef.
Oh, mine was 1 day. Literally 1 day. So
Yeah, sucks to you.
Yeah, let's start this up and just dive right the hell into it, because Beef's
right,
stealing the one thing that I had in this podcast. So let him fucking steal it.
Thieves.
I'll get the cold and the warm open, and that way, make cranky pants over there. Old cranky Kong angrier.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What happened? Got quiet.
We're waiting for you to do the cold intro, stupid.
Oh, I didn't know Pooh was started.
I said we started the recording. It's only been 2 weeks. Come on, man.
Great job. This is why I do it all the time.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, my bad. It's the
Circuit Beef
wrestling time of the year. With the holidays over and UK takeover, it's time to cheer. It's the best wrestling time of the year.
Suck it, Beef.
Wrestle Kingdom was awesome, and Rumbles beat tossing, and AEW Bash the Beach. It's the best wrestling time of the year.
Suck it, Beef.
Disappointed.
Wow.
I loved it. I thought it was great. He's so sad right now.
No, I'm good. No,
We're waiting for the warm up, Beef. Let's go.
I'm sad because I fucked it up, not because of you assholes.
Oh Jesus.
Coming in sad on this one.
All good.
Limp Beef.
You understand that entire thing is going to be your cold open.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right, let's do this warm up and get this shit show started.
All right.
Yep.
I'm trying. If you fucking mooks would shut the hell up for 2 seconds.
We already did that earlier for like 5 seconds to 15, and you fucked it up.
This is the way this podcast is going to go tonight. This is the way.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Yes.
You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. What the hell is that? Podcast.
Oh, God. All right, go.
Let it. Fucking Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast. I hope you have all had a wonderful holiday season. I know that me and my cohorts, we all have, and we're so excited to be back with you tonight in full force. Let's just jump right into it. Let me first introduce to you the former Cruiserweight champion, Poot the Bard.
Oh, what? I'm sorry.
What beverage was that?
Sorry, I'm still.
Is that a bong rip?
I'm still.
That's like a bong rip.
I'm still. You've clearly never hit a bong. I'm still sad and drinking sad from losing my title. Gee, it's been 2.5 weeks of non-stop.
All right. Well,
And that was the holidays at the Food household.
No, it was
and
great,
I would
man.
also like to introduce.
That was holidays. That's every day at the Poot House.
Also like to introduce the new and tag team Cruiserweight. I don't know how that works.
They're the Cruiserweight champion. They're just both the Cruiserweight champion. There, it's Tiger Bomb Tom and it's Alec Ransom, the best co-champions ever.
Damn right, salt and pepper.
All right. Well, there it is.
All right.
So
Well,
they say for YouTube channels, you're never supposed to antagonize or shit on your audience. That's one of the things. That's a general rule of the YouTube community. Is if you want to be successful, you never shit on your audience. Well, guess what? I don't give a crap if we're successful. I honestly hope we fail. Hope this podcast dies next week and we never do another one. I hate everybody that listens to this show. All freaking four of you. You can all stop listening. Pat Shannon, with your mediocre mid-card maniac questions, you can buy another T-shirt and then fuck off. And these other three idiots that I do this stupid show with, you can all die and burn in hell because you did nothing but shit on my ideas. And I'm the brains of this operation, and I don't give a damn what you think. You're all stupid. I'm the brains. I'm the glue that bonds this disaster boat in the water and stops it from sinking into the sea of shit.
Did anyone else imagine him sitting in a padded room with like frayed hair and like a scraggly beard?
No. I'm standing on top of the fire truck right now with my captain's hat on, ready to sail this big red motherfucker out to sea. I'm the captain of this show. I'm the captain of this ship. You'll respect me.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
One of us. Google gobble goo.
This is the way.
Goo.
This is the way. Goo. Oh Lord.
Goo is the way.
So guys, how was your holiday season, guys?
Humbug.
Well, that goes without saying for you. I'm sorry, Tom, Beef, how was your holiday season?
Mine was pretty tame. No complaints. I'm going to NXT on Friday, so that was one of my Christmas gifts. Yeah. NXT live show. Live sex celebration. Yes.
Mine was good, man. Pretty nice to chill and watch a lot of football, watch a lot of wrestling, and just get to spend time with the one person who matters the most to me, my wife. And it's nice to always have time together with her. So
don't make me throw my supper.
Way to make me feel special, Beef. Thanks.
Plus, the Patriots lost this last weekend, and they're out of the fucking playoffs. So life is great, man. Life is fucking great.
I'm honestly just glad that like my neighbor didn't like have some sort of conniption, like psychotic breakdown because he is a huge Patriots fan, which I don't hold that against him. He's a nice guy. But
he's nerfed.
Yeah, exactly. But when I ran into him the other day in the hallway after the fact of the Patriots loss, he's like, "Yeah, man, that was pretty terrible." I was like, "Well, let's go 49ers, right?" He's like, "Yep." I was like, "Okay."
Well, it's awesome. Mine was,
how was yours?
Mine was rife with sickness. I got first of all, the good stuff. It was a really nice time with at House Bard. It's a very busy time for my family and I because we're musicians for our local God House, and so we take care of a lot of the music for that. My band Hellbent. We had a lot of gigs, which was great, but in the middle of one of them, I literally, that feeling the day before you get sick, where you have you feel that tingly in your sinuses and like in your tonsils.
Oh, that's
that
worst.
And you're like, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be sick as fuck. Well, in the middle of the gig, like at the end of set 2, I was like, what the hell's going on? Is it dry in here or something? And then by the end of the third set, I literally my sinuses were on fire. And the next day I woke up, I had a sandwich and went back to sleep. I literally slept all day. Was asleep all day long.
You were like Chris Farley in the freaking Commodores commercial on SNL.
Dude, it was.
Yeah.
It absolutely was.
Sleep and sleep.
I didn't need it though. All I took was zinc, vitamin C, and a lot of water. But other than that, I mean, I built a guitar.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Built a guitar. I'm gonna put a picture up right there. Isn't it pretty? Here's another one. Yeah, that's what I've been doing with my spare time, which is why I'm kind of behind on wrestling. I did a lot of cramming, but I've been doing a lot of guitar work and stuff. So it was really good, man. It was really good. Ransom, how about over at House Ransom?
Kids and Santa and presents and toys, and I can't fit any more in my house. Move on.
Kids or toys?
Shut up.
Okay, good enough.
This is great. Well, I'm glad we're kicking off the episode of the Pittsburgh Family Time podcast here. Let's,
hey, man,
we're
people too. We're not.
Too. We're trained monkeys who spout off into a microphone.
Right. No, that's what I do for a living.
Trained is in quotation marks.
The holidays really bring out the jolliness in Good King Ransom's loft over here.
I love the holidays, but after it's just cold, barren wasteland of stupid Pennsylvania, and it's months of bitter bullshit, and I hate it.
But
it's like Ransom's soul.
Yeah.
But January 1st means sick time is back, y'all. So you know what that means.
Oh, for frick's sake.
Here comes
old Johnny Timekeeper here being wise with his time off.
Nope, not at all. Hey, let's talk about some wrestling, huh?
Hey, let's talk about some sponsors.
Yeah,
let's do that first. Oh my God, it's been so long. So we would definitely want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and what he's done with the work with IWC. I read, by the way, gentlemen, that there are going to be 2 Clearfield shows of IWC this year, one in the spring, one in the fall.
Yes.
So clear your calendars. We'll be making some sojourns up to the hill country, and existing with the wonderful people of Clearfield.
You guys, want to do live streams from a basement again?
What?
Gosh. The Dungeon of Doom.
Wait, I literally thought he asked, "Do you want to eat ice cream from the basement again?" I was like, "What the fuck country bumpkin shit is that?"
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. So I'm going to be disappointed if there's no ice cream.
Can we eat ice cream while we're live streaming?
Yeah, yes. We can ice cream while stream.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Ice streaming.
Shut up. All right, more sponsors.
Yes, we would like to thank our benevolent co-champion himself, Mr. Tiger Bomb Tom, and the work he does with Casual Gaming Dad over on the Facebooks and the Twitches and the YouTubes.
In pixel form.
Doing the Lord's work in pixel form for sure.
8-bit Jesus is proud of you.
8-bit Jesus, oh my God, that's my new shirt.
Yes.
I mean, that can't be that cannot be any more insane than Monday Night Messiah. But we'll get to that, I suppose. And it is worth mentioning that the IWC has a show coming up here. Tiger Bomb, the date 18th.
Yes.
I believe. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, January 18th, IWC is going to be IWC Reloaded, and that's when they hit the reset button. So anything could happen. Anybody can show up. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know who, but I heard that there's at least one, if not maybe 2 WWE quote unquote legends that may be showing up. So who knows? Maybe we'll get Rhino back again. Maybe we'll get Matt Hardy. Maybe we'll get who knows.
And I'll mention our Imagine here real quick, but before I do that, I saw that IWC for the February show signed Hardcore Holly and Jeff Cobb.
What?
And I think that both of them would be worth a trip to Elizabeth to see. So I believe the date on that is February 22nd. So I'm kind of like targeting, kind of circling that because I would love to see either Hardcore and Jeff Cobb. I would love to see Argos versus Jeff Cobb. I'm not gonna lie, I think that match would be tremendous.
I'd like to see Hardcore versus Jeff Cobb.
That too, and that did cross my mind. But and also, as I will digress a bit here, Imagine, I believe, has a show coming up this Saturday. Is it the 11th? I think so. I think it's volume 8 already. With Spencer Slade taking on the Man Dime for the IWC. For the Imagine title. Our boy, the Lebanon Don, Joey Moses, taking on Chris LaRusso. Amongst other matches. So, lots of good indie stuff. Get out there, support your locals, yada, yada, yada.
I actually have an indie I want to mention.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's going to be at the Rex Theater. It's called Wrestle Rex.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on February 27th, okay? So here's my buddy Dan told me about it. He asked if we could mention it. I said, yeah. And there's a lot of really good ones on here, like Neon Ninja Facade.
Yes,
He's going to be there. Matt Seidel
yes, sir.
is going to be there. Sam Adonis. Victor Benjamin, Beastman, and Dan Housen. So it's going to be a really good show. That's on the 27th in Pittsburgh at the Rex Theater. That's going to be a good one. I'm really going to try and make that one if I don't have a gig. So if I don't have a gig, because that's been a kind of a thing that I haven't been able to get to those indie shows. But like, man, there's a lot of really good indie wrestling around Pennsylvania. I mean, the whole nation, but Pennsylvania really.
Oh, we've always been a hotbed.
That was the best time. You're like, yep.
Pennsylvania's always been a hotbed.
I was literally just trying to clear my throat just because I had some phlegm. But
I don't want to hear about your juices.
My
Pennsylvania's for real though has always been a great hotbed of indie wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
So we've said it numerous times before. Get out there, see some of these guys before they go national. Wardlow is just the most recent example. There are tons of other great guys out there. So go out, support your local indies.
Mambo Italiano making some moves.
Yeah.
Dude, he was on, what was it, Raw or Smack? I think it was SmackDown. Yeah, he was on
For real?
Yeah, he was one of those.
Right on.
He was one of the guys carrying King Corbin's throne.
Yeah.
Good for Mambo.
Yeah, good for Mambo, dude. Very inspirational too, doing a lot of like a lot of health stuff and lifting and improving himself. Like, dude, Mambo Italiano, if you've not, go look him up online. If you can't get to a show to see him, Mambo's great.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Right on.
But
yeah, so we've done our sponsors, we've done our call outs. Let's hit the ground running here, boys.
Monday Night Messiah, huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
I'm honestly glad to see them finally just kind of take Seth Rollins and turn him heel, because it was kind of organic in a way, like with all the crazy shit with his stupid Twitter fingers, like the way they presented him turning, he kept asking, he's like, what do you want from me? He's like, I try to do everything for you guys. What do you want from me? So I bet there is some real life frustration in the sense of maybe he felt like he was kind of not getting as much of a pop from the crowd and stuff like that. I feel it was a good move to turn him heel, and I think it's nice to see him kind of rubbing shoulders with the AOP. That'll give them a nice rub and boost their stock a little bit. And honestly, smarmy heel Seth Rollins is the best Seth Rollins. I've said it before and I'll say it again. So what do you think, Poot?
Seth, as far as Seth Rollins goes, I mean, the thing that I feel bad about is because heel Seth Rollins is best Seth Rollins. That's the same thing we say about Randy Orton. Heel Randy Orton is best Randy Orton, but my problem is that Monday Night Raw does not feel big time. And because really everything feels like it's leaning on Seth Rollins to make it a big deal. And when you're a top guy, yeah, that's the nature of the beast. When you're a top guy, you kind of have to rally the troops and help make the show the best that it can. But man, I'm going to tell you something. I went through Raw from this past week, and it just felt weak, man. It felt weak. Like, I was just kind of unimpressed. Nothing felt big time. It was a big, fat sack of meh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I actually watched more of Raw this week than I have in the last probably 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. Pretty much since Hell in a Cell, really, since they kind of swore everything off. I'm kind of starting to dip my toes back into it a little bit.
No one ever really quits. A smoker's a smoker when the chips are down.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, to be fair, I feel like I've really been doing this show a disservice by not kind of tuning in a little bit more. So trying to get that under control. We'll see how committed I am to it. But, I honestly like the Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. That's it screams Paul Heyman to me, which I'm fine with. I don't mind Monday Night Messiah. I like it. I like what he said on Raw. You people did this to me. This is your fault. I am here. I am now because of you. It's a great message to heel 101. Blame the fans for what they've done to you. I I'm still not sold on AOP, man, because like they cut their promos in Persian or Arabic or Sanskrit or whatever the hell they're talking, and I mean like foreign heels are always good. Okay, I get that, but I mean at some point you have to be able to like get good heat on your own without being that guy who speaks a different language. So I'm not sold on them. We know the talent is there. I personally, to me, like that is the thing that's carrying Raw right now, is the Seth AOP thing and involving Owens and Joe, and now surprisingly the Big Show. I'm a fan of that angle. I like what it's doing. What do you think, Ransom?
I don't know. I think time will tell. I've never been sold on Seth Rollins from the get-go. I know Beef at one point was, the biggest Seth Rollins cheerleader. He had the skirt, he had the pom-poms. He was on top of the friggin' pyramid, just rah, rah, rah. Give me an S, give me an E. But I never got there. I could never get, I don't know. I don't see big time in Seth Rollins. When I look at Seth Rollins, I compare him to some of the greats that once carried Monday Night Raw. And I don't see him stacking up to them, especially when, times might have been a little bit tough. I look back at a Bret Hart, a Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. I don't see Seth Rollins being able to carry a brand like any of those guys once did, and you can't say, well, no one's ever going to be The Rock again, or no one's ever going to be Stone Cold. I'm not saying that he should be them. What I'm saying is that when you're the top guy, you're expected to kind of be, you shoulder the weight. The burden is on you when you're the top guy. And I don't see him being able to shoulder that burden like some of the top guys in the past. So I'm not real sold on him. I hope he does well. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope heel Seth Rollins, really turns the table on things. Maybe face Seth Rollins was a little stale and a little meh, and heel Seth Rollins will be something completely different. If that's the case, I'm more than happy to be wrong, because if he succeeds, everybody else on that show succeeds, which is good for wrestling. This is good for the fans. So I'm in a waiting game here with him. Yeah,
I'll agree with you that I'll agree with you guys in saying that Monday Night Raw has kind of felt like not big time and has kind of felt kind of meh. I will say that it's had its moments here and there, and not so much like as a show overall, but certain matches and certain angles and stuff like the whole, Randy Orton, AJ Styles. I like that. I like that little thing that they had going on there. I don't know why they didn't continue on with more of it this week. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. That is I feel like whenever they have their match at the Rumble, which I'm sure they're going to, if it's not already confirmed or not, but I think that'll be decent. SmackDown has had a few moments here and there too. Well, we saw last week, John Morrison showing up. We saw the Miz kind of hit a breaking point, so they could be kind of taking him and turning him heel after his all the frustration and shit with the Fiend that's been going on. We got the Usos back, which say what you will, but they're a hell of a tag team. So it'll be interesting to see if we start seeing Naomi sniffing around anywhere, because pretty much after that whole Uso DUI, we really didn't see Naomi at all. And honestly, if there's one thing that WWE could use on Raw or SmackDown more of, it's a deeper, more involved women's division. So
here's the thing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'd like to point this out.
Go ahead.
So you mentioned the Miz turning heel.
Yeah.
And this was brought up to me. I can't remember where I read it or heard it, but have you noticed that everyone who has faced the Fiend has regressed to their former self?
That's interesting. Yeah, you know what?
The Miz throwing his fit, at the top of the ramp. What do you want? What do you want? It was like I had flashbacks to like early 2000s, early mid 2000s Miz. The I'm better than you. Not the when my hand goes up. Yeah, the awesome, like completely like shit eating. I'm better than you heel. Daniel Bryan, he goes back to being Amdrag, like having that look.
That's a wonderful point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then Seth goes back to kind of being a heel and shit like that, because that's kind of where he was for a long time. I mean, even whenever the Shield first came in, they were all heels. Then they eventually kind of became the cool heels, and then Seth stabbed them in the back, and he was full on sold out heel. So him regressing into this like kind of like Monday Night Messiah, better than thou, like I'm saving Monday Night Raw and I'm carrying the burden on my shoulders, you guys don't know what it's like to do this sort of heel. It makes sense,
right?
And with Miz regressing back a little bit, the fact that Morrison's now there, so if he kind of goes back into that whole that whole persona, how he was with Morrison, that could be an interesting dynamic too,
right?
Here's the thing with SmackDown though, like anytime, to me anyway, anytime that you have to trot out, three returns really. Well, I guess 2 returns and 1 quote unquote big free agent signing, and a heel turn all in the same episode. That tells me that there's panic in the room, because to me it feels like, I don't know. To me, it feels like Fox is like, well, why isn't it sticking? Like, why aren't we getting better ratings? Let's just keep trying stuff and see what happens. I really feel like there's a lot of internal pressure from Fox right now to get those numbers up. And that's why we saw the returns of the Usos. That's why we saw Sheamus come back on the same episode. That's why you saw John Morrison. That's why you saw, the Miz go back to the thing that he made so successful, was like, the smarmy heel gimmick. That's why you want, you're seeing Daniel Bryan go back to the yes guy. I feel like there's a lot, like Fox right now. WWE is kind of in a war on 3 fronts. First of all, on Raw, they have a lot of hate and vitriol from the internet wrestling community, the other IWC, over this Lana and Lashley thing, which we'll get to, I'm sure. Then you have Fox kind of breathing down your neck over SmackDown, saying, hey, what's going on? Hey, fix this, get these ratings up. And then you have the Wednesday Night Wars with NXT and AEW. That's been, like a great, ping pong game going back and forth ratings wise. So to me, like the top brass at WWE is trying to put out 3 different fires right now, and they're being successful on some level, but I mean, it's got to be tough,
What do you think, Ransom, as far as anything? I know you usually don't get a chance to watch Raw. I don't know how much of SmackDown you get to see at all. Have you caught any bits and pieces, or are you just kind of reading the blurbs from online?
Bits and pieces. It's kind of a little bit of both. Kind of reading it online and catching bits and pieces of highlights and stuff when I can. I agree with what Beach said. It seems like there's a lot of, oh shit, what are we gonna do here? Like it's not going like we imagined it going. So we've got to really kind of try to pull out all the stops, and that's a lot of stuff to happen in one episode. That's a lot of people coming back. That's a lot of returns. You would figure that they would try to spread that out over a little bit of time to kind of, you suck the fans in and then you keep them. You bring in another return. You're like, oh, fans are still there. You keep them longer, so on and so forth with, bringing returns in staggered. It almost seems like one of those desperate things like, oh shit, we've got to get some high ratings. We got to get some high ratings now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's panic. It sure seems like there is. I think it could work in their favor if they do things right. Bringing these guys back, Sheamus, Usos, John Morrison. If you bring them back and you do what's right, I don't necessarily know what that is. If you can do what's right, I think you'll hook the fans and you'll keep them because it'll be new, it'll be entertaining, it'll be fresh. If you bring them back for one night, it's like, yes, they're all back, woohoo! And then, you have Sheamus in mid-card obscurity, John Morrison in mid-card obscurity, the Usos in, who cares tag matches against not tag teams, just random people thrown together. I think you're going to find yourself back in the same boat that they were in before. It's going to get real stale. It's going to get real old, and people aren't going to care.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. And I think one thing, it's like you said, as long as they, it really, I hate to say it, it always comes down to as long as they book the stuff right. But, in the fact that they are putting out three, if there's three different fires to fight, it's kind of, I think I don't want to say necessarily that they feel like they had to fight three fires, but they did want three different brands. And we had said before that whenever NXT moved to USA and off the WWE network, the important thing was for it not to feel like some sort of second rate Raw or SmackDown. And each one of the shows does feel like it has its own thing, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Each show does feel different. Obviously, for anybody that listens to the show or, has any sort of like pulse in their body or, a fucking brain between their ears, sees that, when you're talking NXT, that is like the wrestling show. Like that is the closest thing to feeling like you're watching like, a good independent wrestling show. There's been a lot of good stuff that happened over the holiday break too, especially in NXT, and AEW too. AEW's doing some good stuff. NXT had some, very, very awesome matches. The cruiserweight title stuff with Leo Rush and Angel Garza, and Angel Garza defending that, and Rhea Ripley winning the NXT Women's Championship. And
can I ask a quick question about it, since you mentioned Angel Garza?
Yeah, go for it.
What's his ceiling?
Ooh,
probably the same as Andrade's. Probably the same as Andrade's, which is probably mid card. Intercontinental United States Champion, I think, is a good kind of landing spot for him. But I don't see him beyond that.
I think it really depends whether or not he maintains and stays a fixture on NXT, or if he gets shuffled over to Raw or SmackDown and gets lost in mid-card obscurity there. Because I feel like, honestly, at a first glance, I'd say U.S. Intercontinental title, but dude can work, and I don't know. I can't. It feels weird trying to compare him to Eddie or anything like that. And I don't want to take the cheap cop out just because of the, ethnicity or anything like that. But look at Eddie. Did anybody think that Eddie Guerrero was ever going to be the world heavyweight champion? And when he did, it was the greatest thing that ever happened. At least okay, not necessarily in his reigns or anything like that, but it was like the Kofi moment times 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually a really apt comparison, I think. Angel Garza and Eddie Guerrero, because I think that you have the same style. They really do kind of have the same kind of greasy feel to them, and that's not an indictment on what have you. That's just saying that's the kind of characters that they play, that they feel like they could kind of weasel into anything that they needed to. So that's very apropos, and I agree. I'd love to see the kid win it, but he's got a ways to go. We're talking years away for that guy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree that it's going to be a long time coming. But again, the thing is the fact that how successful NXT is being right now, that the whole harken back to when guys would get quote unquote called up to the main roster, you really don't have that anymore. And I think Tommaso Ciampa said it best whenever they had the whole invasion thing going on before Survivor Series. He said, to AJ and them, he said, "Welcome to the main roster." I mean, I know ratings numbers will say otherwise, and obviously Raw is a flagship show that's been established, and SmackDown is SmackDown, and it's on Fox that it naturally has larger eyes on. But honestly, I don't care what the numbers say. Yeah, I know NXT is going to have the lowest numbers of those three, but I think I feel it's the best overall product of the three. And let me just say a real quick congratulations to the Undisputed Era for basically just like taking just about every fucking end of the year award that there was. My God, dripping, fucking draped, drowning in gold. Ugh, it's amazing.
I think this is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ransom.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Going back to the Angel debate there, as far as where you see the ceiling going with him, he could have all the talents in the world, but that I believe doesn't necessarily completely transition over into being the top guy, being the top champion. There have been several people that you could look back at and see as having all the in-ring talent in the world, and they never get there. I mean, you look at Dolph Ziggler. Good Lord. He honestly could have been the second coming of Shawn Michaels with how good he is in the ring. And for some reason, he's just never been able to get to that very top. And I think you have to have a combination of great in-ring skills. You have to win over the audience, not just with your skills, but with your mic work as well. But I think sometimes things that we don't really factor in is you have to win over the office. Because it doesn't matter how much you win over the audience, at least in the Vince McMahon era. It doesn't matter how much you win over the audience, you have to win over the office as well. I think Daniel Bryan is probably maybe the only case of someone who won over the audience so much that WWE was forced to put him in that title reign. I truly believe that if there hadn't have been as big of an outcry as there was for Daniel Bryan, he probably never would have been the champion, because I don't think the office looked at him and went, right there, that guy's the gold right there.
Did you see the thing I shared in our chat the other day, where CM Punk shared the WrestleMania 30 card before he left?
Yep.
No, what was it?
That confirms, and it's basically what we all suspected, that Daniel Bryan was supposed to face, for God's sakes, and Punk was supposed to face Triple H, and Batista was supposed to face Randy Orton and win the title.
You actually cut out. Yeah, you cut out. Who was Daniel Bryan supposed to face again? I forget.
Daniel Bryan was supposed to face Sheamus probably on the pre-show, and then Punk was supposed to face Triple H. And then Batista was supposed to face and probably beat Randy Orton for the double title.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, if this guy can win over the office, he could probably be championship gold material, top championship material.
Oh yeah, I mean it always comes down to having a good combination. Or you look at Cena's case. Cena had all the charisma in the world and won over the audience, and and his in-ring skill was definitely, lacking compared to many other people. It all comes in different ebbs and flows and everything like that. And I feel Angel's definitely got the in-ring ability, and he's definitely got the ability to win over the crowd, because he can kind of switch it, and he's kind of a bit of a tweener as it is right now. So he can. They could book him either way. He's believably booked as a smarmy heel, or he's kind of like that little bit of a bad boy good guy, that like an Eddie or whatever. Like, he could still kind of cheat to win, but the audience would eat it up, because they're just kind of like, yeah, we want to be able to do that too. So,
if I may
Yeah,
guys...
go ahead. I was actually gonna throw it right over to you, Pooh.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to get yucky.
Nah, it's all good.
You guys basically hit it on the head, but the thing I want to point out when you guys were talking about this, you keep dropping Eddie's name. And that's the thing with Angel Garza. I think that if you, in 7 years, if the stars align and he plays his, for lack of a better term, if he plays his politicking cards right, maybe changes his look. Because do you remember when Eddie came back after his brief hiatus from WWE? He was a monster. Like, he beefed up. He had for a while, he had it like wet hair. It was kind of like what Neville did, or Pac did. Like, he came back with that whole thing. And I think that Angel Garza, his character and his mixed with his in-ring ability and his charisma, I think he could be, we could be looking at him and going, he's like Eddie Guerrero. Not the second coming, obviously, but some bitch can work, and he has personality for days. And I know that doesn't immediately mean, oh, he's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. I get that. But I think his ceiling is higher than a lot of people right now, including ourselves, think.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing that I'll say. Like, we've thrown out Eddie's name a couple times here, all over the place, comparing him to that. But we were just talking about Dolph Ziggler and comparing him to Shawn Michaels. I think that sometimes if you can attach a name to yourself, he's like, X, Y, or Z, that's not always the best thing, because then you kind of get in a loophole where or pigeonholed, rather, to where you have to meet one specific place, and it's tougher to work out. I think the other part of it is, too, it's right place, right time. Look at Kane, for example. He had a wonderful career. We're not going to take anything away from him. But, had he arrived about 10 years sooner, he would have been a monster heel. And, I mean, I think we would be regarding him way differently than we are right now, as opposed to saying, he had a pretty good career. I think we would be regarding him as one of the all-time greats. So I think timing, bless you, I think timing plays a lot into it as well. You got to be there when there's a hole that opens up. So
I think it can also be dangerous as well to have so many people compare you to one of the greats, because that could ultimately set you up for failure.
It's a lot of
you
pressure.
As the wrestler. That's people could really raise their expectations, and when you don't fit that model of the next Shawn Michaels or the next Eddie Guerrero, maybe it's seen as a letdown in some of those fans. So I think that's also kind of dangerous if people start saying like, oh, he's the next Eddie Guerrero, he's the next Shawn Michaels, he's the next Bret Hart. Like, those are some big shoes to try to fill, with your character being, you not being that person. So
can you imagine the next Bret Hart? Oh, I don't know. This guy's really dangerous. I just I don't know if I want to be in the ring with him.
It kind of almost sounds like Pat Patterson mixed in with Bret Hart.
Well,
ironically, like, Seth Rollins himself was drawing a lot of comparisons to the Hitman.
I was just thinking that.
Really?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Not good comparisons, but like the way that, like, look at his Twitter things and the way that he was, douching it up with his, raw talk in the office.
But did
I was thinking,
Brett say that he hated Seth Rollins, or he wasn't a fan of him?
100%. But I mean, like, stylistically, like, they both are kind of flat. But they both have, like, top fucking notch skills, and they're both guys who the front office is, like, over the moon with. But I mean, they're both guys who are just not there, man. And I mean, hopefully for Rollins, he gets there, but for Brett, he was always just like right there on the cusp of being, the next ... and then he got surpassed whenever Shawn Michaels came along, and they, he was the current as opposed to the next, and I feel like that's kind of where Rollins is that too, man. Like I feel like they're spending so much time saying he's going to be the next big guy that I think he's going to be lapped by a guy, who knows, fucking Adam Cole, fucking who knows? But
if if WWE fucks up Adam Cole, I have no faith in humanity, because literally all you have to do is look at him and go, Adam, go out there and be you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything with him. He himself has delivered you all the money in the universe on a plate. And this isn't me just being an Adam Cole fanboy. It's so true. You look at him, even if you don't know who he is, you don't know where he came from, you don't know anything about him, you see him come out, you see him do the Adam Cole baby, you see how good he is in the ring, and immediately you're like, I want to be friends with that guy.
Yep.
You know what really scares me about that, Poot?
What's that?
Okay.
I'm going to see if Beef says it first.
2 words for you. War Machine. Like, how awesome were they, and how unique were they? And now on Raw, it's like formulaic. I can only see Ivar do that stupid fucking, cartwheel so many times before the fucking luster is off,
Dude, it's not the same. Like, they were super great in Japan. They're world traveled and everything like that. And when they came in, they were super hot. But dude, it's not. They don't have that X factor that Adam Cole has. You could say the same thing if they brought back John Moxley. If they brought back him to be Dean Ambrose, he could come back. He would get a big pop. He'd be really hot, but then it would kind of go away. There is something about Adam Cole. It's that X factor that they talk about all over the place. So many people have mentioned you can have all the talent in the world, you can have all this, but if you don't have that it, Adam Cole was born with that it.
The thing that scares me about Adam Cole, and I see Adam Cole, and I agree with you, Poot, this isn't just me being an Adam Cole fanboy.
Yeah.
But I see him a little bit above, but quite similar to Finn Balor. Not similar in their styles or whatever, but how on fire he was in NXT. How everybody clamored to see him, and even when he went to the main roster before he got hurt, he was the first ever Universal Champion. I have no idea how long that run was planned to be, but. Now look at him. You can say what you want about Finn Balor, but he's not on top like he was in NXT. He's not protected like he was in NXT. I see a big difference between the Finn Balor of WWE. I don't even know where he's at. Raw, SmackDown, Finn Balor.
Finn Balor, he's in
Finn
NXT.
Balor.
Finn Balor's back in NXT.
Right. Okay. So
he's actually
before he went back,
NXT.
right before he went back. But that's my concern about Adam Cole. You can look like the next best thing in wrestling, better than any other wrestler out there. That you look at him and you go, this dude's the future. He's going to carry you. He has all the abilities, all the crowd work. This guy could. Who knows how high he can carry your brand. But I'm scared to death of him leaving NXT because, like we've said time and time again, Raw and SmackDown ruin great NXT stars. They make them mediocre.
Yep.
And if I may,
hold on, just real fast. I'm hoping, like Poot said, that Adam Cole has that X factor to where no matter where they shove him, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, with Undisputed Era, by himself, whatever, I'm hoping, really praying that he's got that X factor enough to where they can't fuck him up no matter how much Vince McMahon tries. I'm really hoping.
Well, I'd like to make what I hope to be a salient comparison, and that is Kenny Omega. New Japan, say what you will about AEW New Japan, that whole shabacle, but I said shabacle. Kenny Omega was the best wrestler in the world, widely regarded. I don't care who you ask. If you knew wrestling and if you knew wrestling outside of WWE, your answer was Kenny Omega. And New Japan protected him. They built him up. They gave him a year-long reign with the IWGP title. they made him and they gave him awesome matches. Every single outing was a fucking like highlight reel. Fast forward to AEW, where all this pressure's on him to be the guy to carry, and AEW for whatever reason, it's like they're shying away from pushing guys like him and the Bucks because they know that they're like the front office guys. But sometimes, man, you can't outthink yourself. Like sometimes you got to know, hey, this is my workhorse. I'm gonna ride him. To me, I feel like Kenny Omega has really lost a step and a half since going to AEW. And, like, that is very reminiscent of what we talk about with guys that go from NXT to Raw or SmackDown, where they were lighting the world on fire, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, they're good, but show me something new, show me something different. So I mean, the problems that plague Raw SmackDown and WWE in general are not unique to that brand. Sometimes people just outbook themselves because they can't get out of their own way. That's my 2 cents. Sorry, Tom. You've probably been you've been trying to chime in here for like 5 minutes. Go ahead.
No, what I was gonna say, and since you brought up Kenny Omega, I do wanna circle back whenever we get back to you around on the table again. I know you got some New Japan stuff because I didn't personally watch any of it. I didn't watch Wrestle Kingdom yet. I'm sure I will at some point. But I wanted to get your guys' take on what you thought of this. Probably the last bit that I wanted to bring up about Raw was the announcement with Brock Lesnar going into the Royal Rumble as number 1. Now keep in mind, this is not, and I was thinking this way. I was thinking this way for a while, but then I realized like it's not the case. So Lesnar's just going into the Rumble. He's not putting the title on the line at the Rumble, correct?
Nope.
Okay,
No,
so he's
working for a night off because ideally, if he wins the Rumble, either he can choose to face somebody else or probably say, "Hey, you know what? I'm taking my title shot. The night off."
Okay, so that in there tells me that I kind of have an idea how the Rumble's going to go. But in any case, I just wanted to get your guys' take. I thought it's kind of a cool thing. Because for that reason that you mentioned, like, everybody's thinking like, well, Lesnar's dominating and, who the hell ever, who actually ever beats Lesnar? Like, yeah, Rollins did it twice last year. Okay, I get it. But that was kind of like the exception to try to propel Seth Rollins into the main, spotlight because let's face it, fucking Lesnar is not at Raw week after week after week. So somebody's got to shoulder it. Circle back around to they're putting it all on Seth. However, I do think there are some other people that could carry Monday Night Raw, but that's a whole nother discussion itself. What's your take, Poot? How do you like what they're doing? Having Lesnar come in here and enter the Rumble the way he is and everything like that. What's your take?
I mean, it's the thing is, you've 50-50 booked yourself. Either this is going to be them jerking off Brock Lesnar and having it be like, oh, look, he came in at 1 and he ended at 1. How many people have done that? Go.
Rey
Like
Mysterio?
2. Yeah, no, Mysterio is 2.
2.
The only 2 I can think of was Shawn Michaels and Benoit.
Yeah, Michaels and
Didn't
Benoit.
Okay.
Did Stone Cold enter at 1 or did he enter at 2?
I think he was 2.
I think he was 2
Well,
as
1
well.
or 2. I don't know if it necessarily matters. They're pretty much the same spot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
But
exactly.
my point being, there have not been a lot of people who have done that. Therefore, they're either doing this to give Brock Lesnar another Brock Lesnar. Oh my.
More laser.
To have it either another feather in his cap that they can say, because you heard Paul Heyman on Raw, he rattled off all that stuff that Brock Lesnar's done, which admittedly outside the scope of this conversation is impressive. But I mean, that's the thing, is it's like, okay, now he's going to have this as well? Well, for fuck's sake, okay. I mean, what's the point of giving him yet another one? The thing is, all this is doing is building up. If he wins, he goes in 1 and he clears out the entire field, he's going to have it's going to be, well, whoever beats him is going to have a rocket strapped to their back. But then on the other hand, of all this, they have Lesnar in there, so some weird underdog eliminates him. Like, and it's kind of almost a comedy spot.
Oh my God, no.
What happened?
I don't know.
What's
Did
wrong?
Poop drop out?
Beef.
Oh.
What?
It's not like you dropped out there for a minute. No, I'm here.
No, I'm here. Everything's cool. It's okay, buddy. I'm not leaving. It's okay. But that's my point, is that it's like it's gonna be like a comedy spot. You know what I mean? Like it'll be like some weird low mid-carder who dumps out Brock Lesnar because Lesnar's distracted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if they do that, I wonder if they would have him, have Lesnar kind of, stay out there and get pissed off and purposely eliminate somebody, like how we've seen Kane do to CM Punk in his very last Royal Rumble / WWE match or whatever. What do you think, Dave?
Well, and so make no mistake, this is going to be a little bit of the Brock Lesnar show, but he's not going to eliminate 29 other guys. My brother was having some fun with me tonight, poking the bear, talking to me about that. Like, he's not going to eliminate 29 other guys. That's not going to happen. There's no way. They've never pushed anybody like that. So there's no way it's going to be Lesnar to start with. So make no mistake, though. This is to set up his WrestleMania match. So basically, whoever takes him out immediately becomes that guy who faces him at WrestleMania. Okay. Here, and I know we're 3 weeks away yet. And again, I'm going to give credit where it's credit's due. My brother brought this up, and that's actually, and I think Bully Ray said the same fucking thing. Have a guy like fucking CM Punk come out, take out Lesnar, and suddenly you strap the rocket to his back. The returning conquering hero CM Punk in the WWE title match against Lesnar at WrestleMania. That way you're appeasing the smart marks. It makes sense, but word is, and again, I don't know how logistically truth this is, but that there was going to be 10 from Raw, 10 from NXT, 10 from SmackDown. I don't want to see Lesnar just be fed people. Because if you're only putting the top 10 people from every brand in, you're going to have some high-profile people getting swallowed up by Lesnar. And I don't want that to happen. So there's definitely a fine line here, which I think putting him at 1 is a smart move as opposed to putting him at 15. But I don't want the reign of Lesnar the Terrible to go on too long in the Rumble.
That's a very good point. And because like you said, you don't want to feed them too many high profile people, because then that kind of, I'd say in a way, it almost hurts their value. You wouldn't want to feed Adam Cole to Brock Lesnar. You wouldn't want to feed Keith Lee or Dominic Dijakovic to Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? You got to be careful how you do it. What do you think there, Ransom?
This screams of desperation to me. just screams of it. They want something that's going to make the fans clamor and tune in to see what Brock Lesnar does. Why in God's green earth would you put one of the champions in the Royal Rumble if that champion's title is not on the line in that Rumble, other than the fact of it's just screaming of desperation? And I can't see anything good coming out of Brock Lesnar being in the Rumble. And that's the pessimist in me. I'm hoping that I'm dead wrong. But I can't see anything good coming from it. I could see something stupid and hokey, starts out Brock Lesnar and whoever number 2 is, they're getting ready to square off, getting ready, and Brock Lesnar just hops over the top rope and smiles and walks away. Stupid and hokey. They got people to tune in because Brock Lesnar was going to be in the Rumble. He jumps out and eliminates himself. Stupid. Or it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be mid-Rumble, and everyone's like, oh, hell, Brock Lesnar's eliminating everybody. We better gang up on him. And 15 people toss Brock Lesnar out. Pointless, stupid. Or it's going to be Brock Lesnar somehow is going to survive the entire damn Royal Rumble, and make it to the final 4, final 3, or final 2. And wouldn't you know it, guess who's going to eliminate Brock Lesnar at the very end? Stupid Roman Reigns. And it's going to be, Roman Reigns is now going to face Brock Lesnar. Snore, been done to death. Who fucking cares? I cannot see anything good coming from this.
I will disagree with you on one thing. And I don't think it's going to be Roman Reigns, but I don't want to get to that now. I want to let everybody else think of who I might be thinking of. I have a name that comes to mind, and we'll see if I'm right come predictions time or not, and especially come Rumble time. But savor that for a little while. I know Beef got some New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom stuff he wants to clamor about, I'm sure. So I want to give him a chance to do that so he doesn't pop.
Do that. I'm gonna go have a pee-pee.
Yeah, and I need to grab a drink too. So no offense to Beef. I always come back and listen to the episodes anyway, so I'll hear what you have to say. But I'm gonna mute myself and go grab a drink because I am experiencing some severe dry mouth, and that's not from hitting the bong or anything either. So
don't worry, Beef. I'm here for you, buddy. I'm here to listen
buddy.
to you live because I wouldn't miss it.
I appreciate it, Ransom.
Is that what you appreciate about him?
That's what I appreciate. Well, not just that, but Anyway, yeah, I mean, and I'm not gonna climb up on my soapbox here because I don't, there's honestly not a ton to discuss with it because, we talk about things that have problems and like how to fix those problems. To me, Wrestle Kingdom was pretty damn near fucking perfect. And honestly, I think it puts out a great model for what WWE should do in the future, as opposed to having a 10-hour WrestleMania, which, oh, by the way, they usually are about 10 hours pre-show to fucking finish.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking break it up, man. 2 days, 2 stellar main events, have the Universal title on one day, the WWE title on the next day. You get double the gate. You get double the buys or the, whatever the case. But obviously with buys, it's not a thing for them. But bottom line is you have two chances to put your best product out there and say, look what we are offering. I mean, it was an absolutely stellar card, top to bottom. Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada absolutely tore the fucking house down on night 1. I'm real fucking pissed that LOL Okada won, but it is what it is. He's pretty much their fucking Roman Reigns, where they just see all the money in him. So I'm gonna fucking shut my mouth about it because everybody else thinks he's the best wrestler in the world. I don't see it. But they had an incredible match. But to me, I think the match of the weekend was probably the junior heavyweight title match between Will Ospreay and Hiromu Takahashi. Hiromu coming back from like 2 years removed from like a neck injury that threatened his career. One spot that I thought was super cool was Will Ospreay. Takahashi was on the outside, and Will Ospreay did like a flipping suicide dive over the top rope, a tope con hilo, I don't know what the fuck it's called, and he landed with his back to Hiromu, who then was going to like German suplex him like off of landing onto the rampway. Will flipped right through it onto his feet, came at Hiromu, who then tried to belly him into the apron. Will slid through the apron, through the ropes, came back and did an over-the-top rope dive, which was just an outstanding fucking sequence. And I gasped twice, thinking that Will Ospreay was going to die in that whole scenario. But top to bottom, I mean, like New Japan is just an amazing product. And yeah, I mean, it's tough because they're not in our time zone, so you have to like cobble the time away, either stay up late in the middle of the fucking night and watch it live, or like I did, I woke up, got a big bowl of cereal, and like turned it on and watched it until the NFL playoffs came on. But yeah, I mean, it was absolutely awesome. I hope that Poot hasn't seen it so that we can watch it on Rumble Weekend again, because I will definitely do that.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say your hope is validated because I decided to keep myself in the dark, pretty much, about what happened at Wrestle Kingdom so that we could watch it. It's new tradition, man.
It is new tradition, and I mean it's you know, I am the AEW fanboy. I'm the New Japan fanboy. Like, yeah, I'm gonna gush over this shit, but I mean with good reason. Like every year, Wrestle Kingdom sets the precedent for the year of what to expect. And now, you know, rolling off of it, we have UK Takeover Blackpool 2 coming up on Sunday, which has an amazing card. And then rolling into that, we have, you know, Worlds Collide, which, you know, already has an amazing card with only one match booked. Rolling into that, we have, you know, the Rumble. So, I mean, like, this is literally, like, August was an awesome month because August we got to have Takeover Cardiff, Takeover the NXT, I think it was Brooklyn
Toronto.
or whatever.
He sounded like
Toronto, thank you.
Ransom sounded like he spilled pudding on a dog.
That's what I do.
And then we had SummerSlam, and then we had All Out. Like those are four pretty incredible cards all in one month. January, I think, is going to be of the same ilk. Like Wrestle Kingdom, UK Takeover this weekend, and then Worlds Collide, and then the Rumble. Like, I mean, August and January are going to be like the pace setters for me for every like, you know, wrestling year, as it were. So, but that's enough of me gushing about how awesome New Japan was. Go out, watch it. Give them your 999 yen, which is like 972 American dollars for a month. Check out Wrestle Kingdom. Go back and watch some of Liger's best matches because, you know, hashtag thank you Liger. He had his final match at Wrestle Kingdom.
Did you see what Arby's put up?
Oh man, yeah, man.
That was
awesome. Whoever's behind Arby's social media director is fucking incredible. I've seen like wrestling, I've seen Trigun, I've seen like Final Fantasy, I've seen Super Mario, God of War. So yeah, they're fucking doing it right.
Arby's, it's not just for old people anymore, nerds.
Nerds. It's not just shaved beef. Hold on here. You touched on something there, Beef, that I want to mention. And I think we talked about this last WrestleMania, you know, with the freaking, you know, day-long WrestleMania. I really think that does a disservice to the fans. And what I mean by that is that's a lot of... I like wrestling. I do. It doesn't consume or dominate my life, but I like it. 10 hours for WrestleMania from start to finish, that's a lot of fucking wrestling.
That's a big fucking day, man.
That's too much. I am bored halfway through. And it has nothing to do with the people that are coming out and the matches that they're putting on. I don't want anybody to think that I'm shitting on wrestlers. I'm not. It's too much. I can't hold my attention on wrestling for 10 freaking hours. I just can't do it. And you can tell by the live crowd that's there, they're getting exhausted. Because, you know, towards the end of the second half of WrestleMania, you don't have the giant crowd reactions that you really should have. There could be some really big matches, really awesome, really good matches, and you could see the crowd starting to lose their energy. It's a long freaking day to be cooped up in a stupid, arena, stupid auditorium, watching freaking wrestling. It's too much. If they split it up like you said, if they would split it up like Wrestle Kingdom, it would give people a break. It would give them a chance to re-energize, and I think you would have a much better crowd reaction through the whole freaking thing.
Yep.
Well,
I wholeheartedly agree with you, Ransom, and I was actually gonna touch on that. I was the one thing I was gonna say. We had discussed it before, and not just splitting it up, but even look at the NXT Takeover stuff. Like NXT Takeover Toronto was such an amazing card, and I can't remember if it was that one or if it was one of the ones earlier in the summer. I'm trying to remember which one it was where it was where it was Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. Was that Toronto or was that earlier?
That was Toronto.
Was it Toronto?
It was Toronto.
Yeah. Yep.
No, wait. What was the one? No, there was another one. Maybe I'm thinking of Mia Yim and somebody else. It was. I don't know. Either way. Oh no, it might have been the Mia Yim Shayna Baszler one. It was the one in the summer. But anyways, how we were saying, like, you know, it all depends on where a match can fall on a card. It all comes down to knowing how to book it properly, because it started off with like the tag team matches, and then there was like the North American title match, and then there was the women's match, and then something else. Like, you just think of that, but multiply it times, you know, that was only a couple hours there. Multiply that by like 4 or 5 times more, and that's a lot to be asking of any crowd to sit there for 5+ hours.
Well,
I mean, like, quite honestly, like, whenever me and the kiddos went down to IWC back in December, that ended up being like a 4-hour thing. But I'll tell you what, the pacing of it was good. It didn't feel like it. There was a nice short little intermission in the middle. You know, we went around, talked to the wrestlers, we got food, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the kids were feeling it at the end because they're just not used to being up till like 11:30 at night. But you know, I got them pumped back up. They're like, my son's like, oh, can we, I'm getting tired. And I was like, buddy, we got one more event. It's the main event. It's going to be the best thing. And I was psyching them up. And thankfully they got, Argos got out into the crowd behind us and stuff. So, I mean, it's asking a lot of any, adult fan to sit there for 5+ hours and 5 to 7 to now almost 8 or 10 hours, whether you're at home or at the event. It's asking a lot of anybody to sit there through that much stuff and have them be emotionally invested and not feel drained by the end of it. I hope WWE takes note of that, and I hope they do something like that in the future where they break it up into 2 nights. That would serve them much, much better. And I know I hear you gasping, Poot. Hang on though.
Oh no, I'm sorry, man. I really don't mean to.
No.
I'm just like I'm trying not to forget what I want to say.
No, that's okay. The only other thing I wanted to say is, since it kind of tied in with New Japan, is I hope that Jericho makes good on his word, and I hope that he is going to help work towards bridging the gap between AEW and New Japan, and we can see some kind of working relation with them in the future. Go for it, Poot.
There's so much money left on the table. There's so much money left on the table. Go ahead, Poot.
So, damn it.
Yes.
It's
Damn
gone.
it, he forgot.
Damn it, it's gone.
So,
No,
sorry.
oh my god. Oh no, I was gonna say, you said about just like the fact that you're paying attention to a show and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you're paying attention on this stuff. Dude, I've read reports and heard from people on other podcasts and stuff who have said that, like, dude, if you sit on the floor, or even if you're up in the arena or wherever you are, it's not only exhausting because it's such a long event, you're crammed in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and if I may interject, one other quick point is coming from somebody. This was like kind of stuff that I deal with too in my line of work with massage therapy and stuff. I've had days where I had a client, and if I wasn't grounded and centered properly, and I know this sounds all very, energy, hokey, schmokey, whatever. Like, you can have a day where somebody just literally sucks the energy out of you. I've experienced that in my work. Now imagine that you're surrounded by, 60, 70,000 other people. That's a whole lot of fucking energies to be dealing with. And, just the average Joe Schmo is not sitting there thinking, am I grounded and centered properly? No, they're not. They're trying to watch the show. But I'm just saying that's a whole nother fucking avenue that nobody ever thinks about too. But go on.
It's not just, I don't think it's the live crowd either. It's people watching at home. There's some people that are like, you know what? I'm perfectly content with kicking back in my chair and spending 10 hours in front of the boob tube watching wrestling. Come on, give it a scoop, slam, and arm drag, bing, bong, bang.
Armbar.
But there are a lot of people out there who enjoy wrestling, such as myself. And, I know I'm not the majority here, but I've got 2 children and, everybody's got different priorities and whatnot, but I don't want to dedicate an entire day to sitting around watching wrestling. My children aren't going to want to watch wrestling for 10 hours. They're going to want to do their own, they're going to want to play. They're going to want to interact with me. And I'm not going to have the attention span to go, hey, you know what? Sorry, kids. I can't deal with you today because I've got 10 hours of WrestleMania to watch. Not only is WrestleMania not going to hold my attention, but I'm not going to miss out on that time to spend with my children because of a 10-hour WrestleMania. It's not going to happen.
I know I would get probably more than punched back in the face, but if I heard you say, sorry, kids, I can't hang out with you, I got to watch WrestleMania, I would smack the shit out of you.
Yeah, right? Like, it's not going to happen. And I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but yeah.
Oh, 100%. I think it's exactly what New Japan did. And I mean, Vince is a smart dude. He sees that they got 70,000 paid attendance over 2 days, 40,000 the first night, 30,000 the second night. You take that and you factor in a WrestleMania crowd, like that's what, 150,000, 200,000 paid attendance. We're not talking about seat fillers. We're talking about paid attendance. You break it up into smaller chunks, 2, 5, maybe 5.5 hour cards. You have 2 honest-to-God main events because guess what? You have 2 honest-to-God world titles. Or you can put the women on showcase one night and the men, have them main event one night and the men the next. Whatever. I don't care. But, I mean, it just makes good sense. Plus, then you don't get stupid little bullshitty fucking 3.5-minute, 4-minute matches. You get honest-to-God WrestleMania quality caliber matches. So,
there's a lot of opportunity to split things up, like you're saying, Beef. There's a lot of you can think of the opportunities that you can have to showcase different main events and different wrestlers and different genders. There's a lot of opportunity there.
Yep. I thought one thing that Beef was going to say is you don't end up not with the little 3 to 4 minute matches. I thought he was going to say you don't end up with the little crybaby bitches, that say I want to be the main event. No, I deserve to be the main event. It's like, well. Now,
don't talk about CM Punk that way whenever Beef is around. He's going to get upset.
Hey, man, I can't get upset the truth. I can't.
Yeah, it would help. It would help put out the fire of so many egos in the business and stuff that. Because we've said it before, wrestling, it's a very ego-driven business too. Like, you're working together. You have to be able to work together with the person in the ring across from you because otherwise you could kill each other. But at the end of the day,
Goldberg.
Yeah. Let's not.
What was that?
Wait, I thought we were referencing actual wrestlers.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I thought we were talking about football players.
No, we're talking about talented wrestlers, not fucking washed up NFL has-beens. Anyways.
Oh.
Yeah. 2020, you can still suck at Goldberg. Anyways.
He's going to be number 2 in the Rumble.
Good, and I hope he gets fucking eliminated.
Oh, my God.
I thought about that, to be honest with you. That was my first thought. I'm like, oh, man, Goldberg's going to be number 2 and eliminate Lesnar, and we're going to fucking cycle repeat itself again.
How fucky would that be?
That'd be hilarious.
I would probably punch my TV.
I would punch my TV and then myself. Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyways, so what else? I mean, we covered New Japan. We covered.
Hey, let's talk about Lana and Lashley.
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
Because, here's why.
Shut up.
I know that all of you are like, this is the worst angle ever. Bee-boo, bee-boo. Here's the thing.
It is.
Look who's changing their tune.
The thing. Okay. I'm not saying it's the best angle ever. What I'm saying is I watched the wedding last week and I was entertained. I thought to myself, hey, this isn't half bad. It's almost a callback to the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I mean, you were the first person to say that shit sucks the bag.
And it was terrible. When it first started, it was terrible. But you know what? You got the mic out of Lashley's hand. That's a win. Okay, you are getting Lana over, who I think there might be a little bit more to her than what we think. I don't know how trained CJ Parker is. I would like to hope that she is working pretty hard here, and she's not just a pretty face. But and I mean, we are catapulting a guy who we have all lamented and said, this guy needs to be a main event player. The fuck do you want? Rusev literally was in the main event last week. So when there are two very specific angles on Raw that are driving it right now. The Rollins AOP thing, and then the Lana Lashley Rusev thing. So, and again, I'm not saying that this is, gonna be the best ever, and I hope to God that Rusev and Lashley can have a decent match to kind of blow it off, because I think that that's going to be important. But
Ransom, kick Beef in the dick for me.
I don't know why he didn't just save himself time, resubscribe to the network under one of his 15 different email addresses, and go back and watch the Stephanie McMahon test wedding or the Billy Gunn Chuck Palumbo wedding. You might as well have just gone back and watched either one of those two, because it's just as dumb, it's just as stupid, it's the same old thing.
Or Matt Hardy and Lita, or Kane and Lita, or
catapult freaking Rusev anywhere. It's not. When this angle's over, it's going to be back to where he was before. It's just not.
Exactly.
I would love it if it did. I think Rusev deserves to be catapulted into one of the top slots. The whole Rusev Day thing was over like you wouldn't believe. The T-shirts, the crowd chanting, it was over like you would never believe. But this angle is going to kill him. He's going to go back to mid-card obscurity. It's going to be the death of Rusev Day.
I'll tell you what.
And here's the other part, real quick, Tom. Here's the other part of it is that, like, you guys are all echoing what the IWC is saying, that this is the drizzling shit. Okay. You know what? And again, most of it has been. Speaking specifically about the segment 2 weeks ago, I was sports entertained, and I think that there's room to grow. I like the inclusion of Liv Morgan, but here's my point, is that the numbers don't lie. That segment was one of the highest rated segments of Raw this year, of the last couple years. People are tuning in, and yeah, is it Jerry Springer style trashy? It sure is. Like, hello, have you met the Attitude Era? Do we remember Beaver Cleavage? Anybody? How about the artist formerly known as Goldust? Like, there was a lot of schlocky stuff in the so-called best era of modern wrestling. So, to me, this screams Attitude Era. This is a Vince McMahon idea, but it has Paul Heyman's fingerprints all over it. And if Paul Heyman can wrestle the idea, and no pun intended, can wrestle the idea enough from Vince to get his own take on it, I think it's going to go somewhere. And I think that people, whether it's good, whether it's terrible, people are watching, and I want to see where it goes before I put my stamp of, shitting on it.
Okay.
All I heard from you right there was you comparing this stupid angle to Beaver Cleavage and the artist formerly known as Goldust. That's all I heard.
All right, so here's my take. Just because it has high numbers does not make it good, and I'm gonna give you a little lesson here. What did we just talk about earlier on with NXT being the best of the three brands? I think we could all agree on, and it has the lowest viewership number ratings. That's number one. Number two, The Bachelorette. That has been one of the highest rated shows, and is pulled in one of the highest rated shows of a whatever, like it's pulled in numbers bigger than wrestling at like 6.5 or 6.6 million viewers. Does it make it a good show? No, it's fucking garbage dumpster fire. Okay, so
Vince McMahon does not care about weebies and about the people who are watching the indie shows. I swear to God, he is not writing this shit for the IWC fans. And again, I don't mean Internet Wrestling or International Wrestling Cartel. I mean the Internet Wrestling community. He's not writing it for smarks. He's writing it for the guys who knows, whose kids are tuning in, who the guys who are drinking a beer saying, "Oh, I used to watch wrestling. Oh, she's pretty. Look at that big dude. Oh, there's a cake. Of course, somebody's going into that." and so he's this is
Okay.
this is something that is encompassing more than just the Smark community, and that I think is important because that's how you grow fans.
Okay, well, before you keep shoving your own foot down your throat and deeper and deeper and deeper, I'm just going to tell you right now that casual wrestling fans or internet wrestling fans alike, I don't see how any of this was entertaining for anybody because it just sucked. Lana is the shrill, just I wish somebody would just like shove the microphone down her throat and suffocate her because I don't want to listen to her anymore. Bobby Lashley has the fucking acting ability of a wet fucking paper bag over top of Kristen Stewart's stupid face. I mean, he is the most vanilla, like just, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Yours,
I don't know
Tom.
why. I don't know why they ever fucking brought him back anyways. And Ransom said it, and I wholeheartedly agree with my co-champ here that this fucking angle does not propel fucking Rusev anywhere. It's not even. You said that they were in the main event 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. What match did they wrestle? They were not the main event. They were the last segment. They were not the main event. When you're a main event, you are a wrestling match, an event, something that actually happens like in the wrestling ring match-wise. This was just the last fucking attraction of the night. And I'm sorry they ruined Liv Morgan's return coming back because Lashley didn't even acknowledge her name. Simple little things that they could have done where he could have said when she comes out and you're trying to figure, everybody thinks that, she's talking about her feelings for Lashley, and then it turns into some stupid, lesbian love angle or whatever. They have her come out, and all they would have had to do is have Lashley say, "Liv, I've never, talked to you outside the locker room or whatever." Because how naive do you have to be to realize that at some point these superstars run into one another back in the locker room? But what did he say? I've never seen her in my life. And when she came out, how many of us actually thought that it was probably like Dana Brooke or something? Because we didn't recognize it was Liv at first. It was ruined. They did no justice to Liv. They definitely didn't do any justice to Bobby Lashley because he's still the same stupid, dumb, vanilla face, vanilla acting, stupid blank face, dumb, a jacked up Wayne Brady lookalike. Lana's still a screeching banshee that I could give two shits about. And Rusev is still, hey, I wish we had more for him, but he's not going to get any more. So
Ranty
nothing
Tom.
good is coming from this angle. Fuck it. I'm done with it.
Ranty Tom's my favorite.
Here's another rant for you, Poop. Let me.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, this one's going to be very short and sweet. AEW. I love it. I know a lot of people have been shitting on it lately on the internet wrestling community. The one thing I will say that I have not liked about AEW up until this last week, where the fuck was Riho? She's your inaugural women's champion, and she was fucking nowhere to be found. I love the fact that they took Britt Baker and put her kind of in that little bit of a story angle where she went backstage and was like, I've been here every week. Where the hell have you been? You decide to show up when it's convenient. I wholeheartedly agree. That's exactly how I felt, Britt Baker. Kudos. Continue, Poot.
I was just saying I like Ranty Tom.
Yes.
Hey, why don't we do some hot tag trivia? I want to do some nice trivia about you.
Bot bag
Please.
Vivio,
Yeah,
we can
man.
do that.
I need a moment to calm down after that. Fuck.
We
Whew.
can
After
do
that,
some
fuck,
bot bag Vivio.
jeez.
Yikes. All right, so I'm going to ask my question to Lord Beef Wellington.
Ooh.
Are you ready? Short and sweet.
Ready.
Strap in. Bret Hart question. Ready?
I'm ready.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much does Bret Hart suck? 10. All right, next question. Sorry, no, that wasn't it. Bret Hart, back when he was doing his heel angle towards the end of his run in WWE, when he was the Canadian hero, and he was technically a heel, but he got cheered every time they were in Canada, and he was booed every time they were in the United States. on the other foot, anybody that was facing Bret Hart in Canada was booed, regardless of whether or not they were a face or a heel. They were booed. Bret Hart says this: "If you have to give the United States an enema, you would stick the hose in this town."
Oh my God.
I remember that line.
Oh my God. I don't remember the city though.
It wasn't. Oh,
Fuck.
never mind.
I'm playing the Jeopardy theme in my head. You got a time limit.
You know what? I'm gonna go with my first instinct. I think it was Pittsburgh.
It was Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Bret Hart shitting on the Pittsburghs.
Well,
Yep,
fuck
shitting
you,
on the
Bret
bird.
Hart.
All right,
B.
so yes, this question is for Mr. Poot.
Ah.
So, Royal Rumble's coming up, which means you're going to get a bunch of Royal Rumble questions from me because it is probably my favorite event of the year. We know that 27 has been a magical number through the year, producing 4 winners. There have been 3 other numbers who have produced 3 winners. One of those numbers is 28. One man has won from 28 twice. Who was that one man?
Holy crap. So you said what? Can you ask that one
The
more time
question-
for me, please?
Yes.
Here, I got you. The short version of it. Who has won from the number 28 position twice?
And the only man who has won from the same position twice.
I'm trying to think of Rumble winners
Oh, you really,
right now.
you're really gonna boo yourself over this one, man. If you don't get it, it's gonna destroy you.
No, because this is one of those like basic Rumble facts that I should know. Someone's won from 28 twice.
Twice, yes, sir.
Well, just think of who's won 2 Rumbles.
What? My gut is telling me Batista, but I feel like I want to say Cena, but that couldn't be right because Cena won from 30, and Cena's only
Or
won
was it 28?
twice.
I cannot solve your problem, sir. Only you can.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna say Batista.
How about a Orton?
That's twice. That is twice that the guts have it because you are right, sir. Did my hint help at all with Bautista and Drax the Destroyer there? Nothing? No, maybe?
No.
In a little bit? Ah, damn it.
Sorry.
But yeah, Batista has won. Both times he's won has been from the number 28 spot.
Some bitch. Neat.
All right.
I guess it's my turn.
Yep.
And ironically, that was another Pittsburgh-based question.
Was it?
Batista won from Pittsburgh. Yeah, because Batista won his second Rumble in Pittsburgh.
Oh, was that the
Oh,
year that
that's-
he got like booed the fuck out of everything?
And so did
That was the
Ray.
start of Bautista. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when Ray came in at number 30 and we booed him out of the fucking arena. My God, that was so great.
I'll tell you what, Tom, ask your question because I need to eyeball something. I want to check my facts.
Okay. Ransom, here's my question for you. So, speaking of Rey Mysterio, recently Andrade won the United States Championship off of him in Madison Square Garden just here this past month in December at a house show. My question to you, when was the last time that a title changed hands at a house show, and where was it at?
Oh hell, I have no idea about house shows.
Or you can give me either who won it or where it happened.
You mean the most recent one?
No, the last time since this one.
Oh, okay.
Can you give me a roundabout hint as to when that would have been?
I'm gonna say about 2 years ago.
Sounds right.
2 years ago, house show. Was this another United States title change?
I don't know. Could have been United States. Could have been Intercontinental. Could be tag teams.
I think it was another United States title change. I'm going to say United States title. What else did you want?
You could give me who won it or the location of where it happened.
I think it was AJ Styles beating Samoa Joe. No, did Samoa Joe have the U.S. title? AJ Styles beat somebody. Let's say AJ Styles beat somebody for the U.S. title. Who the hell would that have been?
Well, I'll just.
Oh, is that the face of the United States? Is that Kevin Owens?
It doesn't matter who he beat. You are correct. It was AJ Styles winning the United States title, and ironically enough, it was also in Madison Square Garden.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
We're on a clean sweep.
Okay, Tom, let's see if
I'm
you can.
ready to fuck this up.
Okay. All right. So there are 3 men. Okay? There are 3 men who have won back-to-back Rumbles. Okay?
Okay.
I want the year of the Rumbles that they've each won and those 3 men.
I
Lord.
couldn't even tell you. Sorry.
Can you?
I'm not
Okay,
gonna
well
waste
then give me the 3 men. Can you give me the 3 men?
back-to-back Rumbles?
Yes.
Oh, God.
2 of them should be obvious. The one not so much.
Beef. Calm down.
Yes.
Don't flex. Drink some water. Take some protein powder
Sorry.
and rest between sets. Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, was one of them was Stone Cold, wasn't it?
Yes, that's one.
Okay. That's one. Back-to-back Rumbles. Oh, fuck. For some reason, since it definitely wasn't Batista. I know that because we were talking about him, but I'm going to say the other person that I was mentioning. Did Orton win back-to-back Rumbles?
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry, I've been coughing so much, guys. I'm on
That's
the tail
okay.
end of this.
Oh wait,
sickness.
did Michaels win back-to-back Rumbles?
That's 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say
my
I thought
boy.
Stone Cold and Michaels.
Ooh.
Fuck, I can't remember who else.
Come on,
would
brother,
win the
you can do
third.
this.
Oh God. Fuck.
Come on, man, drop that knowledge.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm taking a stab in the dark. Triple H.
No, dude, I'll give you.
Who out here dropping hits like candy.
Dropping the crazy hints, man.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking too
All right,
hard.
do you want the answer? Beef, shut your mouth. Do you want the
yeah,
answer?
Beef,
some of the
shut your
hints?
mouth.
What were
They-
some of the hints you were dropping?
I'll tell you after I tell you the answer. So you got Stone Cold. He won 97 and 98. Michaels won 95, 96. So 4-year period, only 2 men won the Rumble. Okay.
Okay. So
The
it had to
other
be
one-
later.
The
Hold
other
on.
one was 90 and 91, and it was
Oh.
Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
The hints that I dropped was I said, "Come on, brother,
All right,
you
now
can
I
do
get
this."
it. Yep.
And I said, "Drop the knowledge." Like
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like a sick leg drop, but that would have given it away.
Drop the leg.
Yeah.
But no, the Hogan is the one that people oft forget,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
and I know I do a lot. So, dude, I'll
You
give
don't have-
you all the kudos in the world, man. You got the 2 most common ones.
Well, that's not saying much. Then they're the most common ones. So
I
mean-
mean,
Take the damn
like
Take
I
the
Listen,
damn compliment, Tom.
Listen. You don't have to try to pat me on the back and make me feel better. I told you I was gonna fuck it up, and I came through shining. So, yeah.
I knew the Stone Cold and Michaels one, but I was thinking either Cena or Roman Reigns.
I was thinking Cena for a minute too, but then I thought I was like, no.
I think Roman's only won one, believe it or not. We all think that he's won all these Rumbles. I think that he's only won one.
Yeah,
well, it's going to be 2 pretty soon.
Well, he's because I think Roman, the only one he's won was the one in Philadelphia whenever The Rock came out at the end, and I believe he eliminated Rusev last.
Yep.
There was a glimmer of hope that Rusev was going to win it, and then all of a sudden, freaking Roman Reigns.
But Roman has had, I think he's now broken Kane's record for the most eliminations in a single Rumble or overall. I can't remember. No, in a single.
That's a travesty in and of itself.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
You're right. Yep, you're right.
Okay.
It was the Bautista year that he broke that elimination. Yep.
Yeah, it was because he got what, 13 or 14?
Wait a minute.
Well, either way. Hey, while Beef's looking that up, Poot, you want to thank some sponsors?
Sure, man. I'd like to thank Mr. Tiger Uppercut Bomb Tom over there, one of the co-holders of the Chooseway Championship here on the P3 podcast, and his page Casual Gaming Dad over on Facebook. Really plays a lot of games. He does a lot of cool things. His merch. Do you still have the autism awareness merch?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
okay,
it's up there for life.
For life. And so he supports good causes. He plays a lot of really fun games, and he's an entertaining, all-around nice fella. And we'd also like to thank for him for putting up the P3 podcast shirt, the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast shirt, over on his page on Gould Gaming. So shout out to Gould Gaming for letting that happen. And we want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and all his work with IWC in the central Pennsylvania and Clearfield area specifically. We're looking forward to another awesome IWC Clearfield show, and hopefully we can make it to more indie shows this year. That was actually one of my goals, was to get out and see a couple more wrestling shows and maybe a concert or two this year. And also...
Yes. Go on.
You can't just say also. Oh, he's farting. I see what's happening.
Nope. That was mouth fart. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I didn't stand up and fart on my mic. I wouldn't do that. It costs a little too much money. I don't want to fart on my mic. Beef, you want to thank our last
don't give
sponsor?
Yourself pink eye. Who?
What?
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 What? I said, well, I was saying don't give yourself pink eye by farting on your own microphone, and you said thank the last sponsor. I'm like, how many other sponsors do we have? We're good, right?
I think we're out of last sponsors. Yeah, I mean.
We're out of sponsors?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Wait.
Just
What do you have cooking over there, Pooh?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. You just go ahead and sit there and smile. How's that sound? All right. Yeah. So
to answer your question, by the way, the whole Roman thing. Yes, Roman broke that record in 2014. 12 eliminations, but that was later broken by Braun Strowman in the Greatest Royal Rumble of 13 eliminations.
Doesn't count.
I agree.
Absolutely doesn't count. The Greatest Royal Rumble. Actually, when I looked up that the winners, like who won back-to-back years, I saw that the Greatest Royal Rumble was on there, and I'm like, come on, internet.
Yeah, no,
that doesn't
it shouldn't
count.
Be.
Fucking stupid garbage. Doesn't count.
Anywho.
I hate everything. Oh, I'm turning into Ransom.
Yes!
That's no good. I mean, it is good, actually.
It's the best.
Suck it easy. All right.
Do we want to roll through the quick predictions tonight for Takeover UK?
No. Nah, we're already getting a little
long in the tooth.
My tooth is long. It's over.
That's where it's ending.
So, yeah, I was gonna say we could save the UK Takeover predictions. We'll put them in we'll post them in our chat or whatever, and then I'll put them up on display for everybody to see come Sunday.
Awesome, that'll be good. Well, no, This has been really great. I would like to thank you all for stopping by and listening to the P3 podcast, even after our nice little hiatus after the holiday season. And we're looking forward to moving into 2020, and hopefully Rumble weekend is going to be something special. It always is. For Beef the Legend, myself, Poot the Bard, Bebe, and your dual reigning, defending, undisputed cruiserweight champions times 2, Mr. Alec Ransom, the true champion, and Mr. Tiger
Uppercut.
Bomb Tom. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Or day, whichever. It doesn't matter. Whenever you're listening to this, fuck off.